educating, empowering, and inspiring you to live healthier is our mission. So let's begin.
Hey, Health Warriors. This is episode number 70 of the Life, Strength, and Health podcast. I'm Kim, and I'm joined with Jamal.
Greetings, everyone.
And
peace and blessings.
Yes. And thank you for joining us this week. The intro for this episode was done by our beautiful daughter, Saora. She has been wanting to do the intro for a while, so we let her do it on this episode. And we are so proud of her, and she's growing up so fast. And like I said, thank you for joining us for this week's episode titled The Processed Foods Deception. And we're going to dive into that in a little bit. But we just wanted to let you know that this week's episode is sponsored by HealthWarrior.co. And HealthWarrior.co is our health membership community where we provide the education, accountability, and support to help you live a more natural and holistic lifestyle. And we do that with our informative, in-depth health library where we have health courses and recipes. We do that with our monthly live trainings and Q&A sessions, our interactive health forum, discounts on programs and products, and so much more. So just go to healthwarrior.co to learn more about our Health Warrior community. So let's dive into this week's organic food for thought. This week's organic food for thought is on magnesium. Consuming magnesium daily can lower blood pressure naturally in 1 to 3 months. Most people are deficient in magnesium, and magnesium is responsible for more than 300 functions within the body. There was a study down at the University of Indiana where researchers have long debated whether magnesium plays a role in regulating blood pressure with inconsistent and controversial evidence from studies in humans. This metadata analysis, however, collected data from 34 clinical trials involving over 2,000 participants and found a small but significant association between magnesium intake and reduced blood pressure. The magnesium supplement, you should be consuming 500 milligrams every evening, and green leafy vegetables, nuts, and beans are sources where you can get magnesium.
Yeah, I remember a time when they didn't even test magnesium when you went for just the standard checkup, just like they didn't check for vitamin D. But now it's a standard that they check for vitamin D, and it's starting to become a standard that they check for magnesium. I don't know why, to be honest with you. They just don't check your entire vitamin mineral profile. It seems like it makes perfect sense to do that because I think that you're going to start seeing that they're going to start testing for more and more of these things as they look at the significance of them. But magnesium is huge. I think that it's definitely a staple that should be in people's diet because not only is it helping with your blood pressure, it's helping with blood sugar control, your nervous system, energy. It helps your body to absorb calcium, so there's so many different functions. And like Kim said, over 300 functions in the body. So I think that that's one supplement worth taking. And obviously you want to eat magnesium rich foods. So one food that I want to share with you, and I think that you'll be happy about, is chocolate, right? Dark chocolate.
Can't be mad about that.
Dark chocolate is definitely high in magnesium, and you don't want to go for the cheap milk mixed down chocolate. You want to go for dark chocolate. 70% or more of dark chocolate is going to have some nice amount of magnesium in it, and you want to go for something that's maybe sweetened with stevia or xylitol or something like that, so you're not also eating more sugar. So magnesium is definitely a go-to, especially for those people that are interested in taking natural approaches to high blood pressure. And I just also, last thing I want to say about that is these different supplements and nutrients and vitamins, they're not drugs. So if you have high blood pressure, don't think that you're going to stop taking your medication and start taking magnesium and it's going to work like a drug. It doesn't work like that. You have to adjust your lifestyle, and the additional magnesium will be in addition to that. And over time, with all of these little things that you're doing, your blood pressure is going to start to rebalance and regulate itself. So I think that that's important to point out, because I see a lot of people taking this natural approach and they're doing it the wrong way.
Right. You want to be responsible with taking medication or not taking it. And if you want to reduce or get off your medication, you need to work with a qualified health expert.
Yes.
So now let's dive into today's topic. And this episode is titled Processed Foods Deception. And we just concluded a Whole Foods Challenge with our Health Warrior community, where we talked about the importance of eating whole foods and encouraging those of our community members that joined us in on the challenge. And it was a great success. People were making some amazing meals.
Yes.
It definitely inspired me more, with the different dishes that I was seeing. And we also talked about, processed foods, like why we need to avoid them. But they're also just talking to like our clients and community members. There are a lot of foods out there that may seem healthy, but when you get down to it, it's still a processed food. And in this episode, we're going to dive deeper into the processed foods deception so that you can make more informed health choices. So before we know, I guess what the first thing we need to begin with is, what is a processed food? And basically, it's a food that is taken away from its natural state. And the further that is taken away from that state, the more processed it becomes.
Yeah, I just want to say that this is a huge topic right here, because we live in a processed food nation, right? I'm talking about America, and I see it spreading across other nations. We live in a time that technology is gradually, or actually rapidly, growing and developing. But at the same time, like, our health rate is declining, like people are more unhealthy. And I think that the main culprit for this issue is the processed foods. Like, we blame a lot of things in our society for causing our health demise. But I think really big and the largest piece of this puzzle is the processed food piece. If you go into a standard grocery store, I honestly can say that 80 to 85% of that store is full of nothing but processed foods. The entire store, even when you're going into a natural store, a health food store, right, one of these larger chain stores that speak about having more organic foods and better quality of foods, I still say that 70% of those particular stores are still full of processed foods. We're in a very processed food time. So I think in understanding this topic, along with the last episode we did on Whole Foods, I think that this is really going to help you to take your health to the next level.
Yes, definitely. And just a little bit more about processed foods. Food processing is any deliberate change in a food that occurs before it's available for us to eat. It can be as simple as freezing or drying food to preserve nutrients and freshness, or as complex as formulating a frozen meal with the right balance of nutrients and ingredients. And some examples of this are canned and frozen fruits and vegetables, packaged foods, even the ones labeled natural or organic, such as cereals, fresh meat, and poultry, nutritional bars, chips, and jarred baby food, and also health protein powders and supplements.
Yes, and I think that it's important to understand that there is different levels of how you process your food. So, for example, if you pick an apple from a tree and you eat it, that is not a processed food. But if you take that apple and you cut it up into slices, you've done a basic level of processing to that food on a basic level. Then if you take it and you turn it into applesauce, then you've taken that process a little bit further, right? And then if you take that apple and you turn it into a apple Pop-Tart, now you fully and completely process that food where it offers you absolutely nothing. So there's different types of processed foods, and we're not talking about processing your food on a basic level. We're talking about extreme processing. That's right. What's getting people in trouble, extreme processing. So we thought it would be easier to just really look at what's considered the top foods in our country. Like if you look at different lists based on different consensus, they have the top foods that people actually eat in this country. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the top 10 foods that the average person eats and just break down a bit of why these foods are destructive. And what you're starting to see is it's a trend now that anything processed that's unhealthy, there's some company. As a lot of times it's the same company that just, have a kind of a subdivision company under a different name. They'll come out with a healthier version of that processed food. So a processed food is a processed food, and we're led to believe that, okay, instead of having this, just going with the Pop-Tart theme, instead of having this regular Pop-Tart, I'm going to get the natural organic Pop-Tarts for me and my family. And we actually believe that we're doing something different. We're doing something healthy. Is it less damaging than the non-organic and the GMO one? Absolutely. But it's still devastating your health, and it's not going to bring you to a state of optimum health. So it doesn't matter if it's a natural version or not. You really want to try to avoid these processed foods. So we're going to get into these to the top 10. We'll have a little bit of discussion about them, and this will give you a really good foundation. And just looking at the top 10 in general, because we talk about whole foods, the top 10 foods that people eat, they're not even whole foods. And this is really what most people's diets consist of. These are foods that some people within the top 10 foods, this is all they're having. They're just having this every day, and definitely weekly. The average American is having this on a weekly basis. So it doesn't matter, what version it is. We're going to get into this a bit.
Right. So the first food we're going to discuss is hamburgers. And this includes traditional hamburgers, veggie burgers, and, those two, traditional burgers and veggie burgers.
Yeah.
So for the first traditional burger, we're going to discuss the ballpark hamburger patties. And the ingredients in this are beef, water, vinegar, encapsulated salt, sodium phosphate, dextrose, flavor, beef stock, maltodextrin, lemon juice concentrate, yeast extract, vegetable oil, grill flavor from partially hydrogenated soybean oil, corn syrup, and modified food starch.
Right. And I just want to say that let's talk about a burger for a second, right? So you take the meat, the beef, right? If we're talking about a beef burger, and you take the meat and you run it through the grinder to get the ground meat to make your burger. That's it. Why is there a laundry list of chemicals and other things that's being put into your food? And this goes across the board. All of the different burgers on the market, this is how they look. This is full of chemicals. It's full of toxic oils. It's full of MSG. It's full of sugar, devastating sugar, not the healthy sugar. And it's full of starch. So there's absolutely nothing healthy about this dish. I mean, about this burger or this food right here. If you were going to, like I said, grind up your own meat from, something grass fed, that's going to be far superior than this. And then the interesting thing is, so people will go out to get a modified version or a healthier version. So they'll get a veggie burger. But let's take a look at the ingredients in the average veggie burger that's out there.
Okay, so the ingredients would be water, soy protein concentrate, wheat gluten, let's see. I can't even pronounce this one. Methyl cellulose, salt, caramel color, dried onions, yeast extract, sesame oil, hydrolyzed wheat protein, natural and artificial flavor, non-meat, disodium glutamate, guanylate, and disodium inosinate. Those are tongue twisters.
Right. So in listening to that, right, what sounds any different with this veggie burger?
Where's the vegetables?
Right. What sounds different in this veggie burger than the hamburger that you're trying to avoid? Absolutely nothing. It's full of chemicals. It's full of isolates. It's full of MSG. It's full of the bad oils. Like, there is nothing healthy about this burger that makes this more healthier than having a traditional burger, right? And they came out with a new burger, the Beyond Meat veggie burger, and that's, it bleeds, it's ground round, it's supposed to be a better taste. So we're noticing a lot of restaurants are switching over to the ground round veggie burgers, and there are a lot of companies that's coming out with alternative hamburgers, and now the new thing is they're gearing these burgers toward non-vegan and vegetarians. They want to tap into that market and get people to eat less of regular beef and eat more of these. So this is the new trend that's coming out right now. We're going to go ahead and read the ingredients from these new trend of burgers that are coming out.
Right. So we have pea protein isolate, expeller pressed canola oil, refined coconut oil, water, yeast extract, maltodextrin, natural flavors, gum arabic, sunflower oil, salt, sunic acid, acetic acid, non-GMO modified food starch, cellulose from bamboo, methyl cellulose, potato starch, beet juice extract for the color, ascorbic acid to maintain color, annatto extract for color, citrus fruit extract to maintain quality, and vegetable glycerin.
Right. So again, still has toxic oils in it. It still has MSG in it. Still has chemicals in it. It is a little bit, and I do stress a little bit better than this traditional veggie burger. It's a little bit better than the beef burger, but it's still full of things that your body that doesn't agree with your body, and it's still not real food. So that is the what we're looking at as far as like processed hamburgers out there.
Okay, so the second top food that's consumed in the U.S. is the hot dog. And the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council notes that hot dogs, whether regular, turkey, pork, or beef, begin with trimmings, a purposely vague word. Trimmings come in lots of shapes and sizes. The raw materials used for cooked products are lower grade muscle trimmings, fatty tissues, head meat, animal feet, animal skin, blood, liver, and other edible slaughter byproducts.
So I just want to say that, in other words, the scraps of what's ever left over, whether it's the nails, whether it's the hair, the tongue, the eyes, the bones, whatever is left over, that is what they grind up, and that's what you're getting in your traditional hot dog, right? And if you're getting it from a factory farmed animal, you know that that's extremely toxic. So then we looked at the alternative, what people are doing when they're having veggie dogs, right? So a hot dog made out of vegetables. So let's look at the ingredients of a popular hot dog, a veggie dog.
Okay, so that is water, soy protein isolate, soybean oil, evaporated cane syrup, pea protein isolate, tapioca starch, salt, potassium chloride, baker's yeast extract, carrageenan, dried garlic, natural flavor from plant sources, natural smoke flavor, xanthan gum, fermented rice flour, guar gum, oleresin, paprika for color.
Right. So again, it goes back to toxicity, nothing but toxins, MSG, bad oils, and isolates that cause a lot of stress on your system. So even with the hot dogs, just purely processed, purely toxic.
Right. The next food that's very popular is French fries.
Yes. And when we talk about French fries, we're talking about fries that you buy from restaurants, packaged fries that you buy from the store. And then obviously we have homemade that you can make. So when it comes to restaurant fries, most restaurants buy their fries packaged. They buy packaged, processed fries. Most restaurants aren't freshly cutting their potatoes. So the packaged fries are full of a lot of toxicity as well. It's very frustrating because a lot of times, to be honest, like sometimes we don't feel like peeling and slicing up potatoes. Like we want to grab something quick.
Right.
So, we go into the natural section and we're trying to find like organic French fries that we can, bake, bring home, throw them in the oven, bake, or if we want to fry it in like a natural oil, lightly fried in natural oil, even have that option. And we're never able to find a very good quality fry out there. They're always loaded with some type of chemical. They always have some type of bad oil, some type of sweetener. I don't know why they have to do this to the potatoes, but this is what they do, right? Because they want to like pre-flavor it for you, and they want to create a certain level of crispiness when you make it. So it's flooded with chemicals. It doesn't matter if it's the regular version or the so-called natural organic version. And that's what you're going to get from a health food store. That's what you're going to get at a restaurant. So the best way to go with that is to buy your own organic potatoes, slice them up and cook them yourself.
Right. And we recorded in a previous episode, and I'll list it in the show notes pages, about the Dorito effect and how flavorings, they trick your mind to make you want to consume more of a food and not get satiated. So a lot of these packaged foods, that's what they're capitalizing on in these natural flavors.
Yes.
So the next food is going to be Oreo cookies.
Yes. Oreo cookies. That is America's so-called favorite cookie. So that is in the top 10 as far as what people eat. And it goes without being said, I don't really think there's anyone that really believes that an Oreo cookie is okay to have. They know that it's a guilty pleasure that they indulge in too often. But even looking at these companies, they're coming out with natural versions of Oreo cookies. And I'll say that, with some of these natural versions of Oreo cookies, if you wanted to indulge in an occasional cookie, then you definitely should get that over the traditional Oreo cookie. But it's still toxic. Just to let you know, it's still toxic. And really the best way to have a cookie is to make it yourself.
Right. The next food is soda.
So soda.
There's nothing.
There's nothing that I really can say about soda. I mean, everyone knows how toxic it is,
or how addicting it is,
and how addicting it is. Soda, the amount of sugar that's in soda is off the charts. You drinking soda will single-handedly destroy your health, especially if you're having soda every day. And I do see some better versions of natural sodas that are out there, but again, you even want to try to stay away from most of those that are out there. But this is top things. Like it's over water. Water isn't on this list. The average person drinks more soda than they actually drink water. So just think about that.
The next one is pizza.
Pizza is interesting because it's so much of a top food that the school system, as far as the health industry, the FDA is concerned, they actually rated pizza a vegetable. Right. So pizza is considered a vegetable now. So Crazy. They put They put pizza in the vegetable category. So now when the school lists the vegetables that it serves, like it can serve pizza with no resistance because it's considered a vegetable. So I'll just leave that there for you to think about. We're talking about the bread that it uses and the toxicity that comes along with that, the processed cheese that they're using that contains a bunch of chemicals and oils, and probably the healthiest thing on it, which is maybe only about 2 tablespoons, maybe 3, is the tomato sauce. That's about it. But they're not using organic tomato sauce, and non-organic tomatoes are very toxic, top 10 most toxic foods. So I take that back. Probably the most healthiest thing on the pizza is probably the oregano spice that they put on it, because oregano, we know that oregano is off the charts as far as health is concerned. So I would say the healthiest thing on the pizza, processed pizza, I might add, is the oregano. Now, if you're in Italy at an authentic Italian restaurant, or if you make it yourself, then yeah, you can get everything fresh and you can make it from scratch, and you can use whatever type of flour you want. You can get fresh, real cheese from a farm, or make your own cheese. These are things that you can do when you're having something naturally. But pizza, average pizza, very toxic.
Yes. The next food is chicken tenders.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I don't even think there's anything to say about that. Highly processed. The whole nugget thing is huge right now. You're just really better off making it yourself. Like, you don't want to buy that from a store. Highly processed. Even the organic ones, just make it yourself. You could bread it yourself, and you're going to benefit you and your family so much more if you do that.
All right. And the next food is ice cream.
Yeah, this is one of America's favorite foods, the ice creams out there, right? So the store-bought ice creams,
right?
Most of the store-bought ice creams, highly toxic. It doesn't matter if it's vegan or not, because I look at the ingredients on a lot of these vegan ice creams. I look at the ingredients on the animal-based ice creams, and I'm telling you, it's exactly the same. We walk away, think we're making a healthier choice and doing something, but you're really not. And when I say you're not doing that, I would go as far as to say that they're equal in toxicity as far as it's concerned. So it really doesn't matter, to be honest with you. It doesn't matter if you have the animal version or if you have the vegan version. From a health perspective, don't get me wrong, there may be, 1 or 2 companies that you really have to dig, and look long and hard for, that you can find that are a little bit better. But any of these ice creams that you're buying from the store is toxic. If you really want good quality ice cream, maybe a place that specializes in it and they're making it themselves and they're using good ingredients, maybe you can find a good spot. But really the only way is to make it yourself, to get an ice cream maker, or find some different recipes that you can use, a really high-powered juicer or processor, and you can make it yourself. But let's just go through the ingredients. We'll go through the ingredients first of a popular Ben & Jerry brand of ice cream, and then we're going to look at their Ben & Jerry same flavor vegan version.
Okay, so the non-vegan version has cream, skim milk, liquid sugar, which is sugar and water, sugar again, almonds, milk, egg yolks, coconut oil, corn syrup, cocoa processed with alkali, I believe, butter, which is cream and salt, butter, oil, pectin, sea salt, cocoa powder, guar gum, vanilla extract, soy lecithin, baking soda, vanilla beans, milk fat, carrageenan, lactase, and natural flavor. And then the ingredients for the vegan version, I should say, is almond milk, which is water and almonds, liquid sugar, sugar and water, corn syrup, coconut oil, almonds, corn syrup solids, sugar, Pea protein, sunflower lecithin, natural flavor, which is from sesame and coconut, cornstarch, molasses, salt, sea salt, guar gum, locust bean gum, baking soda, caramel color, carrageenan, dry malt extract from barley, and soy lecithin.
Yes. And as you can see, it's almost identical. It's just, they just took out some of the animal products. But I have a question for you. I got a question for Kim too, because I have no idea. Maybe maybe you can answer this for me. Why is there baking soda in ice cream? It's baking soda in both versions. What possible reason, as a chef, Kim gets busy in the kitchen, why would there be baking soda in the ice cream?
The main thing I'm assuming is the shelf life. I have no idea. I just make that up. I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah. I don't know why. Maybe it's a thickening agent, but I can't tell you. I can't even sit here and vouch. I'm just going to say I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that there. I'll leave that there.
Okay, so the next food is donuts.
Man, I don't even think I need to explain donuts here. It's crazy that like that's one of the top breakfasts for people. You know, they're on their way to work or at the office. They have donuts for breakfast.
You're just setting yourself up to crash.
Like you're having donuts.
I've been there
for breakfast.
Yes.
Donuts for breakfast.
By 12 o'clock, you're gonna be just trying to fight to stay awake. Yeah. Don't do it.
Think about that. Donuts for breakfast.
Get those fats in.
Whether it's the mini munchkins or the jelly. I'm gonna tell you something crazy because, like I'm quick to tell you that my journey, my health journey. Like I ate with the worst of them.
There's no judgment here.
I ate with the worst of them. Like I was the one that had a jelly donut for breakfast straight up. Like that was me at one point. So I totally get it.
I used to mix sugar and water to eat it. But I know.
But I'm just saying though, donuts for breakfast, man.
Yeah.
What type of havoc are you wrecking on your body? Man. I don't care if it's a natural donut. Think about that. An organic donut.
Don't fall for it.
Yeah, it doesn't even make sense.
And I'm going to list, we did a 3-part series on the importance of fats. And we just talked about fats are a great way to start your morning for that slow burning energy and, it keeps your mind alert. So I'm going to put those episodes in today's show notes pages as well.
Yes.
Okay, so the next food is potato chips, which is the number one snack food.
Yes, number one snack food. Everyone wants a chip. The interesting thing is when I put people on health protocols, it never fails. It never fails. When I put people on health protocols, at some point, they reach out and say, hey, everything is going good. I'm doing well. But there's some type of natural chip that I can pick up from the store.
Right.
It's something about the crunch, the saltiness.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we know about it. It's kind of emotional, that bite to it, but that people want. People want chips. It's the number one snack food, chips. And there is nothing healthy about chips. All of the chips out there are toxic. Most, I'm going to go as far as to say 99% of the natural chips are toxic as well, just simply because of the oils that they're using. If it's the only oil that you probably can make a healthy chip from would be coconut oil and avocado oil. That's really it.
Right.
And then the chips that I see that have those particular oils in them, it's like, all right, good. We got a good oil. Then they want to put something else in it, some MSG, some sugar,
right,
or just something crazy. I haven't seen any company that has made the perfect healthy chip. Doesn't matter if it's, standard or natural. Chips are toxic. They just are, and if you can move yourself away from the chips being like a staple snack in your diet, you'll be moving in the right direction. Hey, if you on an occasion you want to have a chip, a natural chip, go for it, but It cannot be a staple in your diet. It's going to destroy your health.
Right. So that was the 10 most popular foods in the U.S., but we also wanted to cover really briefly some other highly processed foods. And some of these are breakfast cereals, breakfast bars and protein powder. Yeah,
breakfast cereals is one of the most toxic things you could ever not only put in your body, but put in your child's body. Like, we got duped when it comes to breakfast cereals back in I believe the 50s, when parents were making home cooked meals for their children. And a lot of the women had to go to work because of inflation, and their husbands had to go to war. So they wanted a quicker alternative. So they really sold the moms on this processed box sugar thing as if it's healthy. But if you understood, it doesn't matter if it's natural or not, the way that they have to heat these grains and process these grains, they are highly toxic to the body. I don't care if it's a natural version. I don't care what company it is. Breakfast cereals are highly toxic to your body. They are just the machinery that they use to make these things. And then we have these breakfast bars and these protein bars, very, very toxic, full of toxicity, full of isolates, full of sugar. You want to avoid those things. I know a lot of times we want extra protein to put muscles on, but you don't want to do that. And even the protein powder is highly toxic. Doesn't matter if it's a vegan version. Doesn't matter if it's an animal version. Highly toxic foods. There are a couple of whole food protein powders out there, such as hemp seeds, for example, like hemp protein powder, because it's pretty much grinded up hemp seeds. So in that, you're getting your fiber, you're getting your omegas, you're getting your protein in there. So something like that, a whole food protein can be healthy, but you even have to be careful because, big industry, when they see something growing and doing well, they jump on it. So now a lot of these larger corporations, they're getting in the
they see the dollars.
Yeah, they're getting in the hemp protein market, and now they're creating hemp protein isolates. So now you've taken a healthy food and you've turned it into something toxic. I don't care if it's brown rice protein. Think about that. Like, how do you get the protein out of rice, right? Like, we don't even look at rice as a protein food. So you have to chemically isolate that protein to get it out of the brown rice. So it doesn't matter if it's pea protein. It doesn't matter if it's whey protein, casein. It doesn't matter. All of those proteins are, I'll say 99% of those proteins are toxic, right? And that's the easy way that it slips into the diet. So it's no way around it. Like, processed foods, highly processed foods is toxic. And you should get back to traditional foods that are minimally processed, making them the way that has been time tested, that we used to eat, and go back to traditions.
Right. And, we understand how the world is and just how busy our lifestyles are. And it's not about perfection. It's about progress.
Yes.
And moving towards eating more whole foods and less processed. And if you do that, if every day you're consuming more whole foods, more real foods, which is real nutrition, your health, your body is going to thank you for it.
Right.
And like Jamal said, get back to minimal processed foods and consume more whole foods.
Right.
And to access today's show notes pages where we're going to list, you can download this episode. I'll also list links to previous episodes where we talked about natural flavoring and how addicting that is, where we dive into whole foods and the power of whole foods, and also where we discuss the importance and the dangers of consuming the wrong fats. So just go to lifestrengthandhealth.com/70. That's lifestrengthandhealth.com/70 to access the show note pages. Okay, so until next time, live healthier.
Stay healthy, everyone. Peace and blessings.